Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
It is such a beautiful autumn day. Sun is beaming. Sky is like free from any clouds. And although it's a little chilly, as you can see by our attire, probably I could take my hat off. But yeah, one thing about being in New York is that even when it's cold, the sun is almost always shining, isn't it?
Yeah, it always shines in New York.
She prefers when it's overcast and cloudy. Okay, so we are...
Canto 4, Chapter 27, Text 7.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Text 7. O Prajapati King Prachibani Prachina Bahishat. In this way, King Paranjam also begot 110 daughters. All of these were equally glorified like the father and mother. Their behavior was gentle and they possessed magnanimity and other good qualities. Purport. Children begotten under the rules and regulations of the scriptures generally become as good as the father and mother. But children born illegitimately mainly become Varna Shankara. The Varna
Sankara.
No, Varna Shankara.
It's Sankara.
Oh, correct. Population. The Varna Shankara population.
Still an S. It's not a sh. It's an S.
The Varna Shankara.
Sankara. Sankara. It's not Shankara. It's Sankara.
The Varna Sankara. So you would just say it.
You repeated it 4 times. I thought every time you were going to try to say it the right way.
Yeah, but it's dialect based, isn't it? The Varna Shankara.
Yeah, so it should be all, oh, my bones hit me.
The Varna Sankara.
Shankara. It's the Varna Shankara. And still you say Sankara.
Because it is it's a H. It's not.
No, the H isn't there. It's only there if it has a diacritic above it, and it doesn't.
Well,
like the S, like the S below. How do you say that? Garbodon what?
Garbodana.
Yeah, but what's the word
Samskara.
after? How do you say it?
Samskara.
Samskara. Yeah, S.
What's happening?
Not sh. You didn't say Shamskara.
That's because you don't say it with that word.
Yeah, but you don't say it with the word.
Varna Sankara.
Well, we might get past the first sentence in a minute.
The Varna
Shankara.
Population is irresponsible to the family, community, and even to themselves. Why does it keep repeating this? Formerly, the Varna Sankara population was checked by the observation of the reformatory method called Garbodana now you make it now you ruined everything. Method called Garbodana Samskara. A child begetting religious ceremony. In this verse, we find that although King Paranjan had begotten so many children, they were not Varna Sankara. All of them were good, well-behaved children, and they had good qualities like their father and their mother. Controversial.
Why exactly is that controversial?
Well, maybe about what I'm going to say, but
Okay.
No, I do firmly believe that, and obviously not everyone comes unfortunately, from a positive family background, which is unfortunate that people who are like not so pleasant or a bit stupid or whatever, irresponsible, they can have children. It's unfortunate, you know, in that sense, because the kids suffer. That's why I'm saying it, because of that. Because innocent children come into the life and they may even be hurt physically, verbally, whatever. So, but yeah, it's definitely like your, what is the word? Like your impressions, your blueprint of how life can unfurl for you comes from the home life, you know, the parental, the like examples and how they conduct themselves. It's really it's a powerful ashram, it's a powerful service, you know, to be in that, to be a parent, very powerful, because you can really mold someone's life so it becomes like good bacteria or moldy bacteria, you know, because you mold them like that. So yeah, we want good bacteria.
Okay. Next paragraph.
That's unusual.
Even though we may produce many good children, our desire for sex that is beyond the prescribed method is to be considered sinful. Too much enjoyment of any of the senses, not only sex, results in sinful activities. That in and of itself is an important point to catch on to. We're going to come back to that.
Oh, I'm sure we will.
Therefore, one has to become a Swami.
Swami.
It's not sh, it's sa.
Because of the V, isn't it? Swami.
No, it's Swami. The V is W.
Oh.
It's
Okay.
Swami and Goswami.
The V is W.
At the end of his life. Sorry, therefore one has to become a Swami or Goswami at the end of his life. It's a good thing we didn't have to be that at the beginning. One may beget children up to the age of 50, but after 50 one must stop begetting children and should accept the Vanaprastha order. In this way he must leave home and then become a sannyasi. See, it's not a shanyashi. A sannyasi's title is Swami or Goswami, which means that he completely refrains from sense enjoyment. One should not accept the sannyas order whimsically. He must be fully confident that he can restrain his desires for sense gratification. King Puranjan's family life was, of course, very happy. As mentioned in these verses, he begot 1,100 sons and 110 daughters. Everyone desires to have more sons than daughters. And since the number of daughters was less than the number of sons, it appears that King Puranjan's family life was very comfortable and pleasing. So, okay, we'll go back to the first thing, but the second topic I want to discuss is this idea of having more sons than daughters, where that comes from and how that fits in. So the first point was that too much enjoyment of any of the senses, not just for sex life, but it results in sinful activities. So that means any of the senses. Now there are 10 senses, which includes the mind. So if we indulge too much in the mind, then that obviously is going to lead us to sense gratification. But the genitals is, of course, for sex. But the eyes, the ears, the sense of taste, smell, so all of these things, I guess, they can be used in different ways. It can be, wow, how distracting. Everything just went whoa, whoa. So,
there was no one here when we first sat down. That's why we sat down here.
Yeah.
Now the whole of Brooklyn's come out.
I don't know if the whole of Brooklyn is here, but just a few of them.
Oh,
So,
okay. I meant, I'm dumb. I meant the whole of Brooklyn.
Well, you said the whole of Brooklyn, so I assume that's what you meant.
All right, Shankara.
Shankara. Anyway, basically we have to be engaged in, we have to be careful with over-engaging any of our the senses overtly. The last part is what Prabhupada says, everyone desires to have more sons than daughters. So, of course, that sounds like a blanket statement, everyone, which means everyone. but that is not necessarily, may not necessarily be the case. Of course, there is a potential to understand that, yeah, having girls theoretically is much more of a responsibility because traditionally, Vedically, you were responsible to get them all married. So I like that. And also, I guess there is, in a modern society, if you have daughters, then there's always the danger that they connect with someone and wind up, having to have a shotgun wedding, something like that.
What? Where is this?
Well, that's not the Vedic aspect, but it certainly is a potential possibility. Why? What would you say about that principle that it's better to have girls than boys? Or better to have boys than girls? I'm very distracted, I have to say.
know.
What was all the people walking by?
So there's people in the world. Jeepers, you're focused. I mean, that's how it is so many cultures. In China, isn't it? You can have one child. Is that still the regime?
I'm not sure. I don't live there.
Well, let us know if it is.
Okay.
And then, so as a result of that, the girls are giving up. There's more orphanage girls than boys because of that. I studied that in school, so it must be true.
Yeah, of course.
Clearly.
They taught you that in school.
Can't be anything negative about it. And then, obviously, not all, but yeah, there's a general belief like that amongst Indian families and that. Definitely when I was growing up and someone, her cousin or whatever, had a girl, it would be like, oh, never mind. Literally the words will come out of certain relatives. Never mind, don't worry. She's Lakshmi anyway, isn't she? She's Lakshmi. So then you attribute that instead of just saying she's perfect and complete in herself. No, she's Lakshmi. Let's put that pressure, you know? Why can she be not Lakshmi and just be a gift from God without being Lakshmi, you know? But literally the words would come out, never mind. Like, what the hell? I'll be like, wait, what? Yeah, so...
Yeah, I remember... sorry, go ahead.
No, please.
I remember saying one of our community members in London, she had her second child. Her and her husband had a second child. And
yeah.
She mentioned, or no, maybe it was before she had the child, and she knew what the child's gender was. And
yes, yeah.
And she said, "Oh, it's another girl." And I said, "Oh, amazing, wonderful." And I got 2 daughters, and she said, "You are the only person that we have told," because she was also from kind of like Indian background, and she said, "The only person that we've told who has been positive about it. Everyone else has been like, oh, like you said, anyway, she's Lakshmi or something like that." So it definitely is a sort of stereotype. But for me, it's like important to understand, well, why is that? And generally it's because, like I said, girls are, because the female body in general carries a lot more weight and responsibility, because that's where a child is incubated and carried and created in one sense and brought into the world. So this Varna Sankara principle is a big concern. That's why it's being talked about here. And it's the lady who has the potential to bring those personalities into the world. Plus, like I said, then you usually have to make some arrangement. I mean, back in the day, it was the family of the bride basically paid for the whole wedding. That was the way it goes. And these days you see, it's 50-50, or we'll split it ourselves, or whoever will do it. It's like all kinds of different things. But traditionally that was the case. The wedding was held at the home of the girl, and the parents arranged everything like that. Yeah, so it's a big responsibility.
But also, isn't it like because the family line dies out?
Very good point. Thank you. See, that's what I was talking about. And if you can think of any other things, you can put it in chat below. But yeah, that's a good point. The family line, because the traditional thing is that the name is carried on by the man, because the woman would usually take on the name of the husband, so the person she marries. So that's a great point. Yeah, and also traditionally it's the boys who would continue to do the pinder, or the
Last rites.
last rites, but also the offerings that are meant to help the forefathers and deliver them to the heavenly planets, kind of thing. So it's the boys who could do that. Yeah, and I guess traditionally boys could do so many things that girls theoretically couldn't from a cultural perspective. I mean, probably back then, even like getting a high education, getting a good job, all those kind of things wasn't something that the girl would do. So anyways, lots of interesting things. A lot of these things, especially in Western culture and just in the world in general, they don't apply so much, but amongst communities that are still steeped in their culture, then these aspects, they definitely still pertain to them. Maybe not so realistically culturally, but for sure theoretically culturally, or just as an understanding of, well, it's supposed to be that way. Yeah, but why, Dad? Well, we don't know. It's just the way it was always done, or the way it's always been understood. So, like that. A few thoughts. Anything else?
No, it's just lack of education, and then these traditions or whatever get passed on and on. But because of lack of education and that, it gets degraded, and then women are made to feel inferior and abused, and this, and male
Subjugated.
superiority comes out, and you just have no wider understanding of where these things come from. So then what happens is other cultures will look at certain other cultures and be like, well, you're just all backwards because you do that because of that. And so it's just a whole mess in that sense. And as Prabhupada has said in many places in his purports and his classes, that Vaishnavi supersedes any ordinary man. So in the sense that, if someone has just daughters, but they become Vaishnavis, devotees of Lord Krishna, they can deliver everyone, regardless of if there's like 100 sons there who are just useless. So all glories to Prabhupada for making us all glorious, regardless of our gender.
And all his wonderful daughters. Beautiful.
All right.
Thank you very much. We're going to go now. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Please read the Bhagavatam. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Jai.
Happy Diwali. And tomorrow is, or when you're watching this, it will be today. It will be Govardhan Puja Day. So happy Govardhan Puja to everyone out there. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.